What's up, everybody? It's Dude. Now, we right back in the building, bringing you the latest in the news, hip-hop, sports, and entertainment. And this hatred that Jason Whitlock got for Deion Sanders is starting to get downright ugly. Jason Whitlock continues to spew out hatred towards Deion Sanders. I mean, blatantly calling this man Coach Scam. Jason Whitlock was all on Twitter the other day, and everybody knows since Deion Sanders went to Colorado, Jason Whitlock been having something to say. Jason Whitlock appears to be a jealous, insecure man of another black man's success, and it's starting to look bad all over his face. Jason Whitlock was on his show today and basically called Deion Sanders Coach Scam. Hey, Jason Whitlock, this, you know what, man? You couldn't walk a mile in Coach Prime's shoes, and he only got 8 toes left. Now, this is pathetic. We finna get into the video clip, and I'll give y'all my commentary in the end.
This morning, as I watched Deion Sanders' second interview with 60 Minutes, it occurred to me that Coach Prime has more in common with Roy Johnson than Herman Boone. Johnson, a high school football coach, inspired the HBO documentary BS High. Boone, a high school football coach, inspired the movie Remember the Titans. Every football coach would love to be compared to Herman Boone. He led T.C. Williams High to an undefeated season and a state championship in 1971 while healing racial divisions within the team in Alexandria, Virginia. No one wants to be compared to Roy Johnson. He used an affiliation with a church to create a fake prep school, Bishop Sycamore, that lost virtually every game it played while utilizing college-age players. Johnson claimed he was called by God to build BS High. Deion Sanders, for the second time in a calendar year, told 60 Minutes that he was called by God to rebuild a second college football program. Take a look. Of the many things that Deion Sanders has done and said that make me uncomfortable with his short tenure at Colorado, it is his insistence on defining his actions as God-inspired that bothers me the most. Money and security motivated Deion's relocation to Boulder, Colorado. Nothing else. God had nothing to do with it. Deion wanted to escape the poverty and crime of Jackson, Mississippi, where he spent a little more than 2 years coaching at Jackson State University. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with Deion lying about his motivation and lying about the brutal tactics he used to overhaul the Colorado roster. Again, let's take a listen to Deion Sanders on 60 Minutes last night. No one is spewing and hearing more lies this football season than Deion Sanders. He's college football's golden calf, an idol to be worshipped by sports broadcasters, social media influencers, and sports fans ruled by racial idolatry. He's won three major college football games, and people are hailing him as the modern-day Bear Bryant. It's a joke. The 19th ranked Buffaloes are greatly overrated. In-state rival Colorado State outplayed them on Saturday and gave the game away with self-inflicted wounds. The transfer portal, NIL, and the
Now let me cook you for a minute, Jason. As a Christian yourself, you are a proclaimed Christian, right? Thou shalt not judge. How can you judge another man's faith? How can you judge another man's faith, Jason? You go out here and say that Deion lying about his faith and about his motivation for going somewhere. Boy, you a clown.
Total abandonment of ethics has fueled Colorado's so-called miraculous turnaround. You cannot compare what Deion Sanders is doing to the turnaround efforts of previous coaches because before the last 2 or 3 years, no coach had the opportunity to overhaul their entire roster in one season. Great coaches were tasked with the job of coaching the kids they inherited better than their predecessor. Let me walk you through that. Take Bill Snyder coming to Kansas State University in the early 1990s, I believe, or late 80s, I believe. That guy pulled off the Manhattan Miracle. He took over a terrible program. A new coach is allowed, or will, back in that era, maybe you can run off 5-10 players. Maybe. And you can bring in some JUCOs or a transfer or two. Maybe. But what you primarily do is coach the guys you inherited utilize them better than your predecessor. And then over the course of 2, 3, 4 years, then you replace them with guys you recruited. That was how you used to turn around a program. Bill Snyder, Nick Saban taking over somewhere, these guys couldn't snap their fingers and bring in 85 new players. Deion is not the mastermind of a miracle turnaround. He's a brand that Colorado purchased and gave a blank check to buy players and coaches. Let me repeat that. Deion Sanders is not the mastermind of some incredible turnaround. Deion, what we've seen from him in press conferences, what I see from him in 60 Minutes, he's just a brand that they bought to be the face of their program. He's an avatar. And then they said, Deion, here's a check. Go out and buy all the players you want. We'll make them name, image, and likeness deals, and go out and buy any of the coaches you want. We'll overpay them to be the offense and defensive coordinators and the assistant coaches.
You know what, Jason? Maybe you're right, though. But it take a special kind of man to take a HBCU and win a state championship and then go to one of the good colleges in Colorado and turn that whole thing around. See, the point is that you missing, Jason, that Deion is special. Them kids follow him. He is mentoring these young men, and they go to bat for him, Jason. Something that you would never do. Something that your name would never be associated with mentoring. The only thing you will be associated with is this show and coming down on other folks. Now let's get back to it.
He's a brand with a blank check to buy a team. Let me be clear. I don't have a problem with it. That's how the game is played right now. That's how college football and college sports have collapsed from an ethics perspective, from a fairness perspective. That's the way the game runs now. Cut a check, buy coaches, buy players. Got it. I don't have a problem with it. My problem is with Deion and the people selling it as some sort of righteous, godly, black empowering movement. It's none of those things. It's a money grab by all parties. Deion and the University of Colorado. It's elitist and privileged. If you actually know what you were watching Saturday night when Colorado played Colorado State, you could see the fraudulence everywhere. You could see it in pregame, you could see it during the game, you could see it at halftime, you could see it postgame, you can see it on 60 Minutes. The fraudulence was everywhere Saturday. If you know what you're looking for, if you're an objective observer, if you have a set of standards and values that you stick to. The man claiming God as his motivating force invited the gangster rap world to his locker room, to his sidelines, to Boulder, Colorado, and everywhere. Play the video. I think we have a video of Lil Wayne lead them out of the locker room doing his little rap song. Let's start there. Do we have that, Justin? Can we play that? Let's start there. That's Lil Wayne leading them out of the locker room. This ain't Kirk Franklin leading them out of the locker room. It's Lil Wayne. So the man claiming that God did this and God did that, that's Lil Wayne. Not Rance Allen, who's dead, God rest his soul. It ain't Tasha Cobbs. It's Lil Wayne. It ain't Lauren Daigle. It ain't nothing to do with Christian. Now let's go to the video of Key Glock, some Memphis rapper connected to Young Dolph. Let's go to that video inside the locker room, rapping to these guys. That's inside the locker room. It's just Key Glock is his name. Signed with Young Dolph. Young Dolph is the dude that got murdered in Memphis. The little wannabe thug that got murdered in Memphis. This is one of his artists called Key Glock. I think his name is Marcavius or whatever. That's where the key comes from. The Glock is the gun. Glock. That's in his locker room. That's the guy telling everybody, oh, God told me to do this, God that. The entire, on the sidelines, Lil Wayne, Key Glock, The Rock, Master P, Offset, the whole rap community, the whole gangster rap community. That's who Deion front and centered for all of Boulder, Colorado. But this is a God thing. And I'm supposed to be good with it. I'm supposed to allow this man to sit up and package what he's doing as a God thing, and I'm just supposed to let it ride. He can wrap up God however he wants. He can attach it to all these secular wannabe thugs. All of that debauchery, all of that foolishness, he can attach it to that and say, oh, this is a God thing. I'm doing this for God. Really? Stop it. Stop the line. This is a money thing. It's a radical materialist thing. And this has nothing to do with uplifting black people. This has everything to do with uplifting himself and other elites.
Now cut it out, Jason. Because you can go ask around the league. You can go ask around sports. You're a journalist and you should know this. Deion Sanders is very passionate about raising these young men the right way. Getting them ready for life. Not just only for sports. He getting them ready for life. Something that you will never know, Jason. Where's this hatred coming from? Where is this hatred? Deep down, you hate this man. And you try to mask it by saying, talking about his faith. You really hate this man. That's what it comes down to.
Black elites love pretending they're taking bold public stances for the betterment of the working class and poor black people. Oh my God, I'm just here for my people. I just saw George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Trayvon Martin and Ahmaud Arbery. I'm doing all of this for you. I'm taking these bullets for you. BS. Absolute and utter BS. Think this through. Boulder, Colorado. Black population, less than 1%. Less than 1%. But oh, this is the blackest thing in the world. This God led me to my people in Boulder, Colorado. My people just happen to be less than 1% black in Boulder, Colorado, but this is where God told me to go. Deion packed up his brand and relocated and evacuated Jackson, Mississippi, a city that's 83% black, to enrich a city with virtually no black people. You evacuated Jackson, Mississippi, 83% black, so you could go make money for yourself and the people in Boulder, Colorado, and the businesses in Boulder, Colorado, where less than 1% is black. Black power. That's how we keep it real. Black power. Deion is pretending, and he got asked this question post-game. They compared him to John Thompson in Georgetown, Hoya Paranoia. John Thompson built a powerhouse program at a white school in a black city, Washington, D.C. Deion is a black brand being used to benefit a white school in a white city. Black power. Black power. This is so fraudulent. All the bandwagon black sports fans ditching their Jackson State hoodies for Colorado hoodies. You're selling out no different from Coach Prime. It's what we do. We love to talk Black power and Black Wall Street and Tulsa, the Tulsa Massacre and Black Wall Street, while taking every opportunity to empower white liberals and enrich white Wall Street. The obvious fraudulence would be hilarious if it were not so sad. Black elites are the true face of white supremacy. They have no interest in ending oppression. They want to benefit from it. They hate the working class and the poor. They have no moral anchor, no firm set of values. Hypocrisy is their defining moral code. Saturday night's football game was a culture clash. It was elites versus the working class. If you have a set of morals, if your lenses aren't clouded with racial idolatry, you could see that game Saturday night for what it was. If no light bulb went off in your head, if you weren't sitting there like, man, I've seen this. I know what this is. This was elites versus working class. Colorado State represented the working class. It's a university with a $500 million endowment. Colorado represented the elites, a university with a $2 billion endowment. Let me give you an analogy that will work if you follow high school sports in your city.
Now see, Jason, listen here. Put your ear to the screen. Ain't nobody telling Deion to be the second coming of Christ. That ain't what we want him to be. We just want him to be him. Ain't nobody perfect, Jason. But Deion Sanders got a good heart. See, you had a failed marriage, a failed college football career. Then you get fired from ESPN. Then you want to come over here and do this little show and talk down on all these sports players. See, now it's starting to come off, Jason, as you being a little bit jealous. You jealous of Deion Sanders' success. You jealous of what he is doing, the movement. Now look at here, Jason. Everybody is not riding on Colorado's bandwagon. I'm quite sure it's a lot of people out there that really don't like Deion and don't like what he stands for and don't like what he's doing. Give a man some respect, Jason. You come out here every week after every game and find something negative to say about this man. Why can't you just go ahead and say that he's doing a great job? Why you can't say that? Why you can't say that, Jason? You know this black man, and we ain't even trying to make it a race thing. But you know what Deion is doing is special. Deion will always go down to be a legend, something that you would never be. And then you had the nerve to say on the show with Warren Sapp, them and Brett Favre that you in the Hall of Fame for journalism. Where they do that at, Jason? I ain't never seen that award. You want to proclaim yourself as something, but Deion Sanders can't. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. At this point, Jason, you look pathetic. You look pathetic out here. And it's starting to seem like you starting to chase this little clout for views. That's what it's starting to look like now. Because every week, you come out here, and then you got that Asian man. Now, what? No disrespect, but that Kim dude coming out here speaking with you. Ain't neither one of y'all making no damn sense. It just starting to look pathetic, if you ask me. Just give Deion his respect and give him his credit. Cause whether he lose all the rest of these games, Jason, listen to me. He's still a success. He's still doing it. And this will go down in history, whether you like it or not. Now y'all let me know in the comment box what y'all think about Jason Whitlock's statement. And if this your first time to the channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. This dude and I'm in the building, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Yeah.